So I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how many do it. But many can, many do. They live. They live daily a life without purpose. Without purpose. Without meaning. They go, they walk out a day, and they travel that distance in life. They cover that day, that Monday, that Tuesday. They keep going. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I found myself alive, popped into this world, and it wasn't explained to me. Son, this is why you're here. This is why you're created. This is who created you. And this is where you're going. That wasn't given to me. It was silent. I had questions. I asked, what's life about? What's the meaning of life? Where are we going? And what I got back was silence. Everyone's busy looking at what they're looking at. But it's not really a view. There's no vision. It's just the next meal, the next candy bar, the next playground. Look, a swing. Let's go swing on it. Oh, look, food. Let's eat it. Okay. But I took a step back. I said, hey, I think we're doing the same thing every day. What are we doing? What are we doing? After this, then what? Well, we'll be full and then you won't want to eat. So just sit back. Let's just sit around and talk about what and do what. Oh, John, you think too much. You think too much. But what about my thoughts? What about my questions? And so I just took that and figured, I guess, maybe I think too much, or maybe they're wrong. Maybe they don't think enough, but there's still no answer, right? That wasn't good enough. And so that's what we have without Jesus Christ, without God. Answers, questions, fake answers. You go in a cycle, in a loop, defending yourself, right? Trying to justify yourself. Well, I'm right, but you don't have answers to your questions, right? Well, there's an open question here, and it needs to be answered. But without God, you don't have the answers. You don't have the substance. You don't have the vision. It's not given to you. And so there's this desperation, this anxiety, this angst, all these emotions, right? Anger and frustration, helplessness. And then you just repeat and go right back. All right, back at square one, square zero. We haven't gotten anywhere. Much thinking, much questioning, much process, right? They have a phrase, much ado about nothing, right? Much commotion, much speech about, and so that's what you see in the world, a lot of fluff, they call it, right? Fluff. We have to write an article. We have to fill these pages, but they call it fluff pieces. We don't have anything. We don't have anything to talk about, nothing substantial, really, that matters, that's important. So just type up some words. You know how to use language. Fill it up, right? Something vain, some vain interest. Look, a poodle dog. Let's go take this microphone and take it to her and just ask her about her poodle dog. Wow, you have the best. In fact, let's make an award ceremony. Let's make it an event. Yeah, you have the best poodle dog in the neighborhood. You get the award. Congratulations. So we make it a thing, right? We make it a thing out of nothing. That's not really important. That's not really a matter. That's not really a deal. Right? But we gotta write these articles. We gotta fill this space. We gotta fill up life. We gotta fill up our mind. We got time. We got hands, empty hands. We got energy. Let's fill it with, let's do things with it. And so that's why we need God. Right? He tells us what to actually put in there. what's its purpose. So, you got boxes and boxes and boxes, and they're not labeled. Without God, you don't know. Wait, the kitchen stuff goes here. The living room stuff goes here. And where are we moving to? Where are we going? You don't have the answers. And so we live life as we see, tumbling, right? Stumbling, just very clumsily going around, like carrying this and not knowing, should I carry this? Is this what I should carry? Is this what I should be? And so we're grateful to God that when you give your life to God, He unlocks answers. He starts telling you things. But why would He tell you if you're not committed to Him? So He doesn't tell you unless you're committed to Jesus Christ, unless you make yourself available to Him. He sees you're available. Oh, I can use you? Okay, then here's what I'll use you for. Here's what we're doing. Here's the big project. Here's the big secret. And so then you get to have, there's more zeal, more passion, more hope, more power to live every day because you know the purpose of it. Oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, now it matters. Now I care to be this, to go through this challenge, to be developed, because to be strengthened, to be developed, it takes processing. It takes, you're going to have to endure things, suffer things, right? That concept of working out. Yeah, why are you working out? You're putting out much energy, effort. There's some suffering in it, right? 2, 3. Why do you put yourself through that, right? Man doesn't want to go through unnecessary labor. And so in that little example for working out, people have goals, right? Goals to work out. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. I want to look good. I want to. And they have that in mind, and that motivates them. Without that, then you can't have someone work out, right? They're going to say, what's the point? What are we doing this for? All this effort, and what did I get? Right? If you don't have an answer for that man, you brought me to the gym, there's all these weights. Okay, I demand a reason. Okay, you want me to do this again? Okay, what are we doing it for? Because when I do this, I see this weight going up and down, up and down. This feels purposeless. It feels like I'm not doing anything. If he pulls a net and there's fish in the net and he's pulling the net, yeah, he's not going to question. Oh, I see. We get to eat this fish, right? Oh, yeah, let me pull. He's going to put in all that work. But working out? Yeah, no, he's going to demand some answers. What is this? What are we doing? And you have to have an answer, or else we don't do. So that's how it is with our lives. And that's the frustration, right? Because we're in the gym, we're pulling weights, and people do not have an answer. We're in life, we're living life, and we're asking questions, and we're not getting answers. So yeah, you drop the weights. Okay, so yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck, but you're still in the gym. You're still looking at the weights. And so that's the dilemma that man finds himself in. Without God, no answers, no purpose, no direction, no vision, no goal. And then he just goes back to doing weights. Well, what else am I going to do anyway? With no answer, he just continues. I guess this is what we do. And not being satisfied. Sometimes that's why there's the inconsistency. Tired of this. What's the point? And then goes back to, what else am I going to do? Right? So there's no real drive. There's no real direction, no motive to do it. We do this, we do that. And there's no hope for it as we live, as we work, as we make money, as we eat, as we grow, as we get old. There's no hope in it. There's just a fear of death. That's why there's this obsession with being healthy. People want to be healthy, but for what? They don't know. They just want to avoid death, avoid pain. But Christians don't think like that. No, there's purpose to the pain. There's purpose to death and life. There's purpose to every day. And so with everything we're doing with joy, we can, because we're going somewhere. It's all for something. And so, it's not vain development. It's not a vain goal. It's a real goal. We're actually going to become something, and we're actually going to somewhere. And that's all described. God describes it all. He unfolds the map and shows you the whole grand plan and scheme of things. And if you don't need to know something, he makes sure that, you don't need to know that, but you need to know this. Right? This is the route we're going to take. I'm going to take you out of the furnace of affliction. You're going to go through the shadow of the valley of death, but then you're going to have this kind of victory here. Expect this. And then after you grow here, go this way. Then we're going to end up there, and that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Yeah, so you're on a journey, and it's not just speech. It's not just fluff. It's not just words. No, it's a real journey. It's not a metaphor. No, this is real. You're actually going through it. So you get to see and aspire. You get to understand why this hardship. Why am I having to endure this? Oh, for this purpose, for this development. I have to be this kind of person. Jesus is multiplying the food. He's ministering to people. He's telling people, foxes have holes to sleep in. The Son of Man has not where to lay his head. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got that. Right. All right. So you get to have that resolve. All right. We're following Jesus. All right. That's what he said. Okay. So he helps us out. Expect this. Don't be surprised. Don't think it's strange when you go through all these things. Okay. Oh, God, you're telling me this in advance. He's helping us out. So now you know, right? He gives you landmarks and signposts. Yeah, you're going to come back to this mountain again. So as you go through life, as you go through the journey, you know, oh, he told me about this. Right? That's very special. In a life without God, you don't get that. Everything's a surprise. Everything's chaos. Everything's news, bad news, good news, surprise, mystery. What is it? That's why people are addicted to the news. They want to try to figure out what's happening. But they're always just, doggy paddling. The water's right here. The water level's right here. Just trying to stay afloat. Oh, there's a forest fire. Planes are crashing. The tsunami's coming. The earthquake's happening. The FEMA's coming. The relief is coming. The prison camps are coming. The foreign nations are coming. The bombs are coming. What's going on? But they're not giving you solutions. They're not helping you. They're just giving you more things to fear. Here's another thing you can't help. Here's another thing that you should be worried about. Here's another thing that you should be afraid of. Here's another thing that should make you run, that should make you hoard toilet paper and groceries and water and fear for your life. That's not living. And that's running away. You live a life running away. Monday, what are we going to do? We're going to run from death. Tuesday, what are we going to do? Run from death. Wednesday, you might deny it and say, no, I'm living a powerful life. I've got guns and ammo stocked up, piled up. I've got a vault of this. I got this saved up. I'm strong. I'm capable. I can. But that's all under the hood. Fear of death. It's not living. Right? You're just trying to get by, make it by, making ends meet without any higher purpose, without any goal. But we see Jesus walking in dominion and power. Death has no hold over him. There's no poverty that threatens him. There's no fear of lack of food, lack of peace. No, he's got it all. There's no fear of storms. He can tell the storm to be quiet. He can have the bread and the fish multiply. He can tell the people to sit down in groups of 50s. He can establish order. He has influence. He can tell people how things are to be, how to order themselves, how to go out and do the work, send them 2 by 2. No, he's got a full understanding of the vision, the plan, the time. What are we doing? What are we here? Right? What are we here for? What's the time? What are we supposed to do? Yeah, he can tell others. He can paint the whole picture for people. And yeah, he's not worried even when people leave. Oh no, those that are mine. There are those that are mine and those that are not. Those that are of the fold and those that are not. And those that are, they'll continue. They'll keep on walking this path. They'll keep on being developed. And we're grateful to God that it's perfect. That we can't do it on our own. We can't do it on our own. So when we do it, we're tempting God. Oh, I want to be brave. I want to develop courage. I'm going to jump off of a plane. Right? I'm going to overcome my fear of heights. I'm going to overcome my fear of death by skydiving, by bungee jumping, and we're tempting God. Right? Only God knows. Right? God gives you the scenarios and the conditions to help you develop because you don't know. But he's going to put you through it. He's going to put you through it. And you might be scared of it. Oh, I wouldn't have done it this way. I would have gone skydiving. That's my idea of, I'm so brave I can jump out of a plane. No, but God says, no, how about you? You're afraid of being with people. You're afraid of people. You don't need to jump out of planes. You need to be in this social setting. Right? You don't know how to talk to people. Right? And yeah, I'm deathly afraid of, I have to introduce myself to people. I have to make small talk. Right? You would never do that for yourself. You do what's thrilling and you do what's in your mind, right? You tell a story of, I'm doing what I want and I am becoming a better person. And God would shake his head. That's not the plan I have for you. That's not really your weak point. Right? That's not what you need development for. Right? Jesus is ministering and serving all these people and not even eating. Like, can you do that? Right? Do you do that? No, that taxes me. That stresses me out. That's really hard for me. Here, why don't I set up this scenario for you? You would never call up all these people and gather all these people in a room and say, hey guys, I need you to be here and I need to practice overcoming, my anxiety of being in social settings. No, God would arrange that for you, right? You're here. Oh, now I'm here. Oh man, the crowd, there's so many people talking. I'm getting nervous. Right? But what happens? What happens? So for me, yeah, it's a real example for myself. I notice when I'm in those settings, I get tired. I get tired. Oh, maybe a little sleepy, but why? Because I'm being drained. My energy is being drained. And yeah, maybe you can't handle like 3 hours of this. Oh, this is a bit much. This is a lot. Oh, I can't hear what people are saying because I'm so tired. And I might think that I'm genuinely tired. And I might start trying to reason, make sense of it. Why am I so tired right now? Why am I so tired? Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe I didn't eat enough. Maybe I just need to drink water. Right? And then God's going to help you out. He's going to put you in another scenario. Here's more people. Here's another setting. Here's another time for you to be among a lot of people. You would always avoid these situations and leave, but here, you got to deal with it. Right? So maybe I couldn't do 3 hours before, but now I can do, maybe I did 30 minutes or an hour. And then he's going to stretch it and say, oh, why don't you stay for 2 hours this time? Yeah, and he's going to take you along. Oh, now you're able to do more. And you're able to have thoughts and realizations. Oh, right? Because you serve God, you're praying, and you're asking to be developed. You're seeking to be like Jesus, understanding I have to be able to do this. Jesus is doing this. Jesus, he's working despite being tired. He doesn't mind that. He's focused on the mission and the work of God, the purpose of God. So therefore, me too, let me continue and strive to purposely grow. And so you're, yeah, walking in agreement with God. Okay, God, I know and understand that you're doing this on purpose. Whereas before, when I was not a believer, I would find no point. Like, what's the point of leaving myself in stressful situations and scenarios where I feel uncomfortable? No, I could just make myself comfortable. Right now, it's accessible. Just leave. Just go in the car. Just go home. Watch some TV. I'm glad that's done. Man, 20 minutes of that was enough for me. Time to just not have to deal with all that. I'm back in my comfort zone. Right? Not growing. Because what's the point of growing unto what? There's no purpose to it, so there's no reason. So I'm not going to subject myself to that. But now, in God, no, I understand, oh, there's purposes. I need to be developed in this area, that area, whatever God is going to, he's going to find the fire and bring me to the fire. I'm going to say, it's hot, but okay. Because, Job said, I'm going to come forth as gold. So I believe, all right, this fire today. And understanding and seeing, oh God, you're doing this. Right? Even at my job, having to be in a position where I'm between serving these two types of customers. One is like a business and one is the customers of the business, and I'm put right in between, and I have to serve both interests. Okay, so the business doesn't the business wants to hire people that will be able to answer calls like customer service, but not quite, because I don't know everything about this business. We're serving like 50, hundreds of other businesses, and so you're just at the front lines taking the calls, not knowing the depth of all that this business operates in. But the customers, when they call, they're going to have questions. So do you guys do this and this and this? And we don't have the answers. So I'm put in a spot that I don't like. It's humiliating. It's very uncomfortable, right? To have to say, ma'am, sir, I'm sorry, I don't know. And then having to face their frustration, right? Why don't you know? Well, do your job, right? How can you not know? What are you talking about? And part of the job description is not revealing that you're a third party. Right? They don't want you to say that. So, having restrictions, it would be more comfortable to excuse myself, right? And to just tell them, oh, I don't actually work for the company, right? That would explain everything. And they'd say, oh, that explains it. But I'm not allowed to say that. So I have to keep, staying on my feet. What am I going to say? Or just not say that, but also not have the answer for the person who's asking the question. So why don't you know this? I can't find the front door. Right? I work remotely, so I'm not at the place. So I can't even tell them, where's the front door? They're calling. Maybe they're late for an appointment, so they're very stressed out. You can't tell me where the front door is? And I can't explain to them why I can't. Right? I'm so sorry. I know it must be a kind of a confusing scenario. Let me take a message for you, and I'll get you a call back to let you know where the front door is. And they're going to be super mad, right? Just tell me, I need to get in your building. And so, I could just quit the job saying, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable. I don't like this scenario. I don't like being put in this position. But understanding that, no, my job, where I am, the scenarios, the situations, the people that I'm talking to, and the situations that I'm in, it's all of God. It's perfect. So I get to be in that uncomfortable situation and at the same time have another mind, right, that's looking down like a third person and say, oh, here I am. Oh, I'm being developed. Oh, I'm having to suffer this. Right? Okay. Suffer the shame. Suffer. Yeah, it's humiliating, isn't it? It's kind of demeaning, isn't it? Man, it goes against my own flesh. I want to be pleasing to everybody. I want to, yeah, help everybody. I want to be affirmed by people, not rejected by people. I don't want the scorn of people, but having to endure this. Another caller, another minute, another day, day by day, facing this, and then realizing, oh man, God is perfect in all that He does and the ways that He works. Because I'm going through that at the job, and then, oh, back in this social setting, now I'm in a room full of people, and oh, I feel less tired. I'm not as afraid of rejection. Yeah, because now I've been through days and days and days and days and days and days of this over here. Now in this setting, oh, it's playing together. So yeah, then I'm having more understanding of myself and the path and the trajectory. Oh, I'm not as tired. I'm still tired, right? Just it's taxing being around people. I'm having to, deal with all the business of the mind, right? As might happen when you're, having to make small talk, right? Oh, I gotta talk. I gotta say something. What am I gonna say? Come on, think of something. Engage. Break the ice. Got questions, don't you? Right? Whereas before I might have been lazy, just have the other person do all that work. You know what? I just don't have anything to say, so let it be. Right? But that's not really fair. That's not really responsible, right? Because that is a lot of work that you're making the other person do. Oh, I have to keep the conversation going. I have to think of the questions. But no, now you're more participant. And yeah, you don't mind putting in the work, putting in the effort. And yeah, there's less fear of failure. So part of that is your own image of yourself. You don't want to deal with the fact that you're not meeting the standard. You're not performing. You're not having success in what you're attempting to do. But you're more okay with that. Oh man, this is hard for me. Man, I can't do this. And we have to realize, a lot of our behaviors is how it functions is we're trying to hide ourselves from ourselves. I don't want to see that part of myself. I don't want to acknowledge my own weakness. I don't want to. The pride would have us behave in a way that, you don't know you can't do something if you don't try. So it protects your ego. It protects your pride to not try things, especially if you know you can't. And instead, yeah, what's the pride going to do? The next step is to come up with a story to cover that weakness. So that's what that being tired is about. Oh, I'm so tired. I better go home. I have a good excuse to go home. I'm tired. I have to go home. I don't have enough energy to stay. But yeah, no, God reveals the truth. Yeah, so he gets to pop the hood for you, and you get to see, oh, I am tired, but the source of that is not really being physically tired or lacking sleep. It's the fear. Right? There's fear here. The fear is the root of it. I fear man. I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid of, because what was it? You get to understand maybe how it might connect with how you were brought up. Oh, only child, or didn't have a lot of people to speak with, or your background of maybe having moved a lot, not having friends when you were growing up. But also, you don't have to use that as a crutch, as like an excuse to excuse yourself. That's why. So accept me. That's why. So justifying yourself. No, you get to understand, oh, that's why, and then move forward. A lot of people, they get stuck in that, like connecting it with their past. Yeah, there's a reason for why you are the way you are today. And then there's a stubbornness that, and a laziness that uses that as a justification for staying the same. But no, as Christians, we can't accept that. We're not happy with that. No, because Jesus is over there and we're seeing him. That's the vision. That's the goal. I have to close the gap. I have to get there. I have to follow. I have to keep going. And Jesus is calling me to where he is, to what he's doing. And so that's my past. That explains where I came from. But that just explains where I came from. Right? And I'm going there. So it helps you see, okay, came from there, now I'm going there. So it doesn't become like a sinkhole. It doesn't become an undertow that just brings you down, drags you down, keeps you back. It's not a weight. It can be something that, I don't know, how does it help? It just gives background context. Oh, that's why, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have power over you. You have power over it. You have understanding. Oh, it explains. So, yeah, it's not as confusing, the current moment. Oh, this is why. But it doesn't have to be. I have a past and a future. Right? If you don't believe in God, if you're not a Christian, then you just have a past. And people are stuck, even in the secular terms, they have terms for that. They have understanding of that. People being stuck in their past. People being stunted in their growth. People who can't move forward. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's everyone. That could be everybody. Could be everyone. There might be more obvious forms of it. There might be more severe forms of it. But I think it's very possible that might be everybody outside of Christ. Outside of Christ. Because where are they going? Where are you going? You're not going to eternal life. You're not going to your Maker who knows you, who cares for you, who knows the hairs of your head, and who gives you circumstances and situations to develop and grow. You just have your own vain pursuits, vain goals that are not real, not actual. So you do work thinking it's work. You think working more hours, you're working your secular job, that's your idea and definition of productivity. Because it seems like it. And yet it's not. It's not. Because the world that's seen is not the only world that is. That's not the world you live in. That's a very small piece. That's a bubble within a bubble. There's circles and circles within circles. There's greater things. You need to understand the whole picture, the whole thing, the whole onion. Right? You're just working at this layer. And then when you die, you're going to have to deal with the rest. What about all these things you didn't address? And so God brings all that together. And he knows you need this scenario. You need this circumstance. You need to go through this. You need this experience. You can't draw that in yourself. You can't have that surprising moment. You can't orchestrate it yourself. You need a surprise birthday party. You need a surprise snake. You need a surprise spider that just drops down. And while you're in the bathroom, right? Okay, deal with that. That's good for you. And then deal with this. Deal with this surprise. Deal with this pleasant surprise. Deal with this. Handle this. He's putting you through an obstacle course, and it's developing you. And if you don't pursue God, then you're not going to go through that. That's not going to be designed for you, given to you. You're going to step off. You're going to leave. You're going to design your own idea of God, idea of life, idea of how your days are supposed to go. And it's not going to develop you because it's going to be surrounded and padded in much comfort. And so isn't it ironic that, in the mental asylums, right, people who hurt themselves or people you can't trust to not do damage, they're going to be put in padded rooms. You need comfort. You need an excess of comfort because you're a danger to the world, to yourself. We need to put you in there with no pencils, no pens, no clipboard, no chair, nothing. Just in a giant room, fully padded. Yeah, pillows. A room full of pillows. Just being there. And that's the extreme version, but we do that to our own lives by ourselves. We surround our lives and our situations with comfort. We like to stay in our comfort zone. We don't like to be developed. But God says, no, go through this way. Jesus is in the wilderness, 40 days, 40 nights. Be tempted by the devil. I don't want to do all this. No, but Jesus submits himself. He has to go through the process of crucifixion. Yeah, the Israelites have to go through circumcision. You have to be baptized in the water. Why all this processing? Why all these things? No one wants to do that. So you have to live a life that says, nevertheless, I don't want it, but nevertheless, lay it down. Like, who would do that? If you're not a Christian, you would not do that. If you don't believe God, you would not do that. There's no reason to. There's no purpose to. You don't see the joy on the other side. That's not revealed to you. That's not revealed. You just see death and horror and suffering. And I want to run to my happy place. I want to run to my comfort zone. I want to run to my own mental asylum that I designed myself. Now this is the life. Snooze button. I'm living life. That's our definition of life. You're not living, you're not growing, you're not becoming a king. That's not how kings are developed. And so, yeah, I remember this movie about the King's Speech, I think it was called. This person, if I recall correctly, he's like the king, or supposed to be the king, and so he knows it, but he has trouble talking. And so what does he do? He tries to fix the problem. He stutters. Right? I can't talk like this as a king, right? Because he has to give speeches, and he goes through, I don't know, some kind of speech therapy or something, and it's a hard process. Because, yeah, that's interesting, right? So even in the secular track, in their method, their means, they're going to identify, so this problem, this comes from your childhood, this comes from your upbringing, this comes from your fears that you have. They're going to be able to identify that, right? So we see even they get a portion of the answer. So he's going to have to go through that, deal with that. He's putting himself through circumstances and scenarios that help him to overcome that part of himself. And so, yeah, he does that, but he does it knowing his identity as a king. I know I am a king. This is my role. This is my identity. So I have to put in this work to fix this problem. Right? What if he wasn't? If he was just, he could get any job. He doesn't have to be a king. Then he doesn't have to fix this problem, because it takes too much work to fix this problem. And through the process, he had many moments where he wanted to quit or stop, not meet the therapist anymore, and just, because it's too hard. It's hard to overcome problems and overcome your weaknesses. But we see even in that parable, in that story, he had that goal and the vision in mind that was pulling him, drawing him, saying, no, you can't quit, because you got to get there. To get there, you got to go through this path, go through, across this stream, climb that part of the mountain, because you got to get there. And so, yeah, you endure whatever it is, because he was a king. I can't deny this. But yeah, we see it. So those that are not called to be like Jesus, to represent God, and there's no reason to put ourselves through that hardship, to climb that mountain, that part of the mountain, that leg of the race. No, yeah, quit. Quitters. Losers. No, let me go back to this life. Right? And so the stories change. While you begin, you set it off on this course. It seems great. You want all the trophies up there. You want all the victories. You want all the crowns up there. So you start. But then, if you don't believe in God, then you're not going to have the identity. You're not going to have, yeah, there's no God, then there's no calling on your life. There's no purpose. So you're going to quit. You're going to quit. Right? But when you started, yeah, oh, the quitters, they're losers. Right? That's what you said. But then now when things get hard for you, you're going to also quit. But now you're going to change your story. Because now you're one of them. Oh, so, you know what? No, I was wrong. It's, if you quit, you're not really a loser. If you quit, you're just, right? So that's why we have all these artists and songs that want to glorify not believing in God. Right? Glorify drug use, glorify being lazy, glorify a lifestyle that is aimless and wandering. Yeah, we're not all who wander are lost. Let's sell that as a bumper sticker. It's going to sell well. Many people believe this. Many people embrace this. Anything to just relabel failure and being a loser as not. Right? No, I didn't lose. I mean, after all, you learn by your failures. You learn by losing. The real place is this. This is where it's at. We know life at the depths. So I've seen, many people. I've been one myself, right, who was doing that, and they love making documentaries and movies like that, where they try to champion those that did not make it. They're gonna pretend like, there's this one, I don't know if it's a documentary or something, where I think what they did was they went around and they interviewed janitors, right? Oh, because in our mind the stereotype is, oh, janitor, that's like the lowest position, lowest job, right? And they wanted to spin it as if, no, you know what, the real wisdom is in them. They know all the wisdom about life. You might not think so, so they're trying to like put a twist on life. Say, oh, look, let me interview them. See, isn't that so wise? They're gonna edit the video, edit their questions, and then they're gonna present it like that. It's gonna seem like that. Wow, that's so deep. Wow, you know so much. Oh, you really understand life. And so, to some extent, there's some truth there. In, even in Ecclesiastes, we have the wisdom of people that sometimes is hidden. Right? Sometimes it's going to be found in those places. But without God, you're not going to understand that in the right context. It's going to be vain in this way, where it's just a consolation. It's just a soothing of, heal my people slightly. Okay, so, but you can't take people all the way with that. You're just soothing them in their descent as the whole society is going down, as they're going away from God and experiencing the curses that oppress them and push them down, weigh them down further and deeper and more widespread depression. You're just calming them, saying, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, we have a new saying. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be depressed. It's normal. Yeah, in every depth, every decline, we're going to, say that again and again. This is the new normal. It's okay to be super depressed. It's okay to be ultra depressed. It's okay to be dead. It's okay. It's okay. And that's how far we've gotten. No, that wasn't acceptable. No, you would bring them to church in previous generations. What's wrong with you? Go to church. Come with me to church. You need church. You need Jesus. But now they're taking them to therapy. They're taking them to the doctor. They're taking them to the pharmacy. You need more pills. You need a different prescription. You need to change your medication. What happened to you need church? You need to get to church, be saved, turn your life around, act in these ways so that you can break the curses off of you, experience the blessings of God, the joy of God, the new identity that you can wake up right? And strive towards, oh, this is my calling in life. Oh, Jesus, right? Supernatural fixing of problems. Yeah, because we don't understand that there's this actual reason right here. But there's a veil, there's a blinder on that tells you, no, it's more work, more money. So if you don't go to church, you don't listen to Jesus Christ, don't pay attention to God, he's not going to remove that blinder for you to let you know, oh, there's that. It's a spiritual that affects the physical. There's a tight relationship here. Oh, this is real. This actually exists. Though I don't see it, I can address it. I can pray to God. I can engage God. And then this will be changed. I don't have to have the devourer living next to me. I don't have to have a wrecking of my finances, a wrecking of my material goods here and there on Saturday and Tuesday, 2026, 2018, 2030. This happened, this calamitous thing. There's a reason that my life is this way. There's this. Yeah, just remove the curtains. Oh, see, this was here, working behind the scenes. There is a backstage. There are people pulling the wires and the ropes and changing the scenery and making all the sound effects. And this is why my life was so scary. You get backstage access. Oh, you guys are doing all this back here? Hey, get out. You don't belong here. Get out. What are you doing? You're making things go off script. You know, the play is supposed to go this way. This is how the production is supposed to be. You get to grab hold of it. Oh, you get to check. This how is my life supposed to go? Oh, I'm called to be a king. I'm called to be a king. Oh, I don't have to live like this. Oh, I'm supposed to do this. Man, I was failing in my responsibilities. God, I'm sorry. You get to repent. You get to take up and put on the garment of joy and cast off the depression. Now put on the garment of joy and praise God. Fulfill what you're supposed to be doing in this life with your life. And so, yeah, I was able to recognize, man, this is just, it's fear, the fear of man that's making me stressed out. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of talking to people. I'm afraid of having to engage in people, do things I'm unfamiliar with. And recognizing that, I was able to re-engage. Say, oh, I don't have to obey the fear, obey the tiredness. It's trying to make me tired, and say, oh, yeah, it's not my fault. It's not really, no, but I can take up the responsibility and say, no, I can develop this. I can grow stronger in this area. Let me try to engage, though I'm tired, though I'm scared, right? So you're going to act in an unnatural way. That's not your natural you. In the natural, in the flesh, you're weak, you're corrupt. You don't want to do things that are good for you. You label good as bad and bad as good. But in God, no, you get to see, though this is hard, though I don't want to, nevertheless, you're going to do it because you're going somewhere. You're trying to get to Jesus, get to the mountain, to the top. And you're not scared, you're not afraid, you don't despise the effort that it takes. And so God's going to continue to send you through, send the scenarios and the environments and circumstances to you, right? Because you're doing well with it. You don't despise it. And so, yeah, you need that. You need all that material. You need that guidance, right? From God. It's going to come from God. As you say yes to God, as you draw near to him, he's going to draw near to you. So he's going to give you the power and the strength so that the next time you go through it, oh, I got more energy this time. Oh, I'm not as scared this time. I'm not as tired this time. Yeah, and that's a progression, a continual development as he continues to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, come up higher. Now do more. Now this, now that. And so, yeah, we see how God treats his sons, how Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes and the kings, as we go through the generations, we see God and his people. He's taking them through life, processing them through to get to him, to get to godliness, to overcome all these things that we have in life. So you cannot have victory, you cannot be a victor without God, without full commitment to Jesus Christ. You have to give yourself, and then he's going to give you all that's necessary, all the tools and the weaponry, all the strength and the encouragement to trudge through, to ascend, to go over the streams, over the rivers, through the rivers, know how to swim, when to extend your arm and to swim through to get to the other side, to keep walking. Yeah, it's a journey, and it's a great journey, but only in Jesus Christ. Outside of God, yeah, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're going to see a pretty flower. You're going to see a scary monster. You don't know. Good one day, bad one day. You're going to be in terror, right? Confusion. Run this way, run up a tree, be naked up the tree, and wonder, where's my life going? Do you want that? I don't want that. So, yeah, we're girding up our loins, putting on the breastplate, the helmet, having the shield and the sword. No, we're engaging. We're having victory in war through these battles as we continue with God. Victory in God, with God. Call upon the name of Jesus Christ. Call upon the name of Jesus Christ daily. Submit to him. Commit to him. That's the only true life. Life is in Jesus Christ alone. In Jesus' name.